So as I was saying, this will be the first spin-off of the Global Bio Summit. And we have been talking about that since last year. And particularly, I have been attending to the Bio Summit for 3 years now. I was in the second Bio Summit as a participant. In the second Bio Summit, I also gave a talk and participated in some panels and helped as a volunteer to organize too. And then in the third Bio Summit, I applied for the fellowship. I was the first Brazilian, the only Brazilian in that edition to be one of the fellows. And fortunately, this edition, we have more Brazilians even. And I was also so in the third Bio Summit in the fellowship as a speaker and also as an organizer. And now I circle back and I closed this journey to start again, a new one. And I was a pod leader and also co-organizer, a pod leader for the new fellows, welcoming them, and also co-mentoring. And in the fellowship, I helped to organize the Bio Summit too, as a volunteer. And I also gave a talk yesterday, and today I'm sharing this with you in this talk too. So ever since last year, when we started to envision this, first of all, the Latin Bio Summit is meant to be, well, a spin-off of the Global Bio Summit. So of course, it's important to remember that we have the same shared purpose that as the original Bio Summit. And I don't know if you have also accompanied in other talks, but several speakers have been told in how was the journey of the Bio Summit itself. So we have in the second Bio Summit, for instance, we had more than 350 participants of the second Bio Summit in 2018, co-creating the shared purpose, and a lot helping. There was a great help of Abel Cano, Marshall Gans, and of course David Kong and Maria and all the other organizers. But in order to put this together, in order to put the discussion and bring all these answers from the community and see what the community had to share. And this was the first journey. Then in the third Bio Summit, the Bio Summit have a huge focus on the ethics of the global community, because this was co-created by all the participants in all the journey as a movement. So if it's a movement, we should have some ethics behind it. And that was heavily discussed in the third one too, and we have our code of ethics. And now in this Bio Summit, we have a focus on governance. And I think the governance is where we enter too, because we have also local governance, right? And in the local governance, we are trying to, it's like we are the children of the Global Bio Summit, and now with the same shared purpose and with the same ideas and same ethics, we are starting to grow and have some autonomy and have these spin-offs, these regional spin-offs. The Latin Bio Summit will be the first one, but the idea of the MIT Media Lab and the movement is to have several different ones, like an African Bio Summit, an Asian Bio Summit. I'm sure in the other regional, they are discussing that already too. And about this particular meeting, what our goals here is, I want to share what we have, what is our experience. As I told you, I have been working in the organizing team for a long time as a volunteer. So, and one of the reasons that I volunteered this year to so many different tracks, and sometimes I wasn't even able to keep up with all of the volunteering activities, was to learn. So I wanted to learn all the organizers were doing, the core team were organizing, and how, so we could, because we have a lot to, you know, to look up, and we want to do something really professional too. And for that, we made a lot of alliances. So ever since last year, I have been doing a lot of institutional alliances with a lot of partners here in Brazil. The event will happen in Brazil, in Foz do Iguaçu. Foz do Iguaçu was chosen because it's a city that has a tribal border in Latin America, so it represents this unity and also this articulation between the countries and the free transit between the countries. So Foz do Iguaçu will be the venue of the event. Besides that, we have some organizations, some governmental organizations, such as Fundação Araucária, which is a huge organization for the government of Paraná that is supporting us. We have the Biopark supporting us. The Biopark is the biggest technological park in Brazil. And they are helping us with a lot of infrastructure and a lot of, especially logistics. There was a sign that it was at the time, because I'm not seeing the, could Maria or someone give me a hint?
No, I don't know what that was. I just muted everybody in case of whatever that might have been.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some time advancement, yeah, you know, alert. Well, and then we intend to do kind of the same tracks. I will put in the chat later. We have already some ideas of the speakers for those tracks that I'm going to present, but we created a form with this new logo too for the Latin Biosummit. That's the logo for the spin-off. And in this form, you can put from your region, from your country, who do you think is the most amazing speakers that you would like to see there? Because with all the sponsors that we are getting here, we are getting, we want to make this presentation in 2021, and we are flying the speakers here and doing this logistics for them. So who is the most amazing speaker in your country? Who would you like to see here? Who would you like to represent your country and your community? Please enter the form and tell us. And let me pass to the tracks now. Let me see if I can share the other part here. Okay. Okay, so the tracks that we envisioned was first, corporate governance and culture is a very important one to discuss. Environmental manage, interaction between science and government, open innovation always, advocating for science, and that is more than just science divulgation. That is about winning again the battle against the misinformation in science and the anti-science movement. Bioart and connections to biotech, and mainly using in the governance idea, again, in the governance paradigm, using biotech as a political tool. Because I think that we in Latin America lost a lot of revolutions. We lost the IT revolution. We have everything that all the world have in IT, but we lost the way when this revolution, the timing when that was being made and discussed and all the strategic decisions. So we were mainly consumers, but not the definers of how this technology would be produced and why and for whom and etc. And only the open software movement here is very strong and it still is able to do that. But in the IT as a whole, we lost the narrative. We lost the power of the narrative and the control over it. But biotech is so new, if we look in a historical perspective, and this revolution is still going on continuously. So we still have time to put that in our hands and be the deciders of the narrative that we want for Latin America's biotech, and how this will be strategically used in Latin America, because biotech is everywhere and it's super strategic for any government, like in security issues, in economical issues, you know, it's in agriculture, it's in health, it's in all our data information, like, you know, DNA sequences everywhere and who our governments are sharing with this information, etc. So this is very important to be discussed too. And here also I want to hear you, and I want you to feel free to propose others. So in that sense of discussing what other tracks could we talk about, I invited some people that to enjoy this conversation here. First, I would like to invite Sophie from a movement that is growing in Latin America. It started small, but it's growing. I have been following them. I'm a little older than this crowd. This is like the, I don't know how this generation is called anymore. It's Zoomers because they are not millennials. They are super young and super active and super brilliant. And they are doing this. Have this group here called Biotech Latina, and I'm very happy to be keeping up with that they're doing. And I would like to invite them to talk a little bit about themselves. And they are supporting us as well, like in All Biotech. I would like All Biotech to step up and talk a little bit too. I also invited Daniel from Genobank to talk a little bit too. I don't know if he was able to join the chat already. Oh, he's here, so Daniel too. And then we'll come back, circle back to Eduardo. So Eduardo will share some ideas if there's time. So starting with Sophie, please join us. Sophie, I'll leave the mic to you. Are you there, Sophie? If you're not, Daniel or Thelma could speak up first about our biotech, and then we come back to Biotech Latina. Is Daniel there?
Yeah. Hello.
Maria might have muted everybody. Give me just a second.
Oh, so she is there.
Hear me?
There we
Okay.
go.
Sorry, I can't open the mic. Okay. Hello, everyone. I can a little minutes to explain of Biotech Latina. Biotech Latina is the initiative, or give me a second. Yeah, it's going to tell you about the new initiative in Latin America called Biotech Latina. The founders of these initiatives are Sibel Soniar and Daniel Dominguez from Brazil and Mexico, respectively. And this initiative is born from the cultural, social, and linguistic Spanish Portuguese gap in the regions. And additionally, it is born from the lack of the network of collaborations, articulations, and communication networks, technology transfer and exchange of success and failures of projects in biotechnology in Latin America. And generally speak the lack of platform to promote the development of biotechnology in the comprehensive manner of the develop the bioeconomic in the regions. Biotech Latina integrates organizations, institutions, initiatives, and independence in order to create the largest Latin American network related to the bioscience. And so I can invite you to join us for the development of bioeconomic in the regions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. And that's the plan, is to join all these initiatives. So we are gathering them. Of course, today is not like we don't have enough time for everybody to speak, but we already set a group for that, and we have we'll set also, that's something that we want to discuss, because we also tried several different platforms to communicate. So with some people we talk on WhatsApp, with some people we talk on Slack, with some people we talk on Telegram, and we need like a more some platform that we will be able to talk to everybody, because there are more than 100 people talking at the same time, but they are all fragmented right now. And so I would like to invite, without further ado, Thelma or Daniel to talk about our biotech. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Daniel mic is not working, so it's me. Hello, everyone. And maybe you're wondering why a Latin Biosummit if we can just go to normal Biosummit. But the real thing is that we really have different issues from worldwide issues, like really Latin American issues. For example, what happened if I ask you who is the worst president in Latin America? We all gonna discuss mine, not mine, not mine, because mine is this. So we really have to talk about these things. Like, we know that things are not right, like in the world of governmental issues, for example. We don't have enough scientists in government, but we also don't have enough scientists that want to jump to these government issues, for example. So it's very important for us to let us like convene in the same problems we have, and because that's the only way we can change things. And for example, I will speak a little about All Biotech, which is this initiative. I put the link in the chat. And we are young people interested in biotechnology. At the beginning of the story of All Biotech, most of us were biotechnologists or biologists or chemists or people like really in science. But now, as we have been growing, we have connected with different people like journalists, like economics, like people from government even. So we try to gather all these young people to create new enterprises, new ways of communication. All the projects they want to do, we just want to enhance and to push them to do it and to offer this platform for everyone to be listened. So that's the spirit of biotech. And we want to do that kind of things one more time at the Latin Bio Summit, including workshops, including all these crazy network, including being a person that doesn't really know what it's all about, but comes to learn and to change the world. So that's kind of the opportunity we want to give. And so here we are. We will continue helping and supporting all this crazy Latin Bio Summit. And if you have any doubts or anything, you can reach me. And well, here we are.
Thank you so much, Thelma. Thank you so much. And that's, well, that's for you to have an idea of the community power that we have, that the capability of mobilizing that community and make a real, professional and cool meeting in 2021. And I would also, but I think that we should also talk to several different actors, as we have been doing in Brazil, to organize this: institutions, scientists, the students, the politicians, everybody, and also the companies. And to represent the companies that are supporting us, I invited Daniel Uribe from Genobank, that's also Latin American, to talk a little bit. Would you join us, Daniel, please?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Isis, Maria, Thelma, it's very nice to see you again. Hello, I'm currently in Mexico City. Usually I am in California. Hello, everybody. I have maybe a choppy signal because I am in the car. Of course, I'm not driving, but hopefully I can talk for a couple of minutes, just to be grateful and honored to be here, part of this. Basically, we are, as Isi was saying, in the part of the governance. We are in the digital space, and we are trying to contribute to the research world by providing each human being a DNA wallet based on blockchain. So everybody can own and control their DNA datasets, or your whole genome or whole exome or genotyping kind of information. So the basic idea is Genobank is a network where you can track every biospecimen that you send. Let's say if you are using one of these little tubes that maybe some of you already know very well, right? This is a saliva tube. So what we do is we tokenize it using the blockchain, and from then we give you traceability of what's going on with your biospecimen, and then with your biodata generated in the lab. Each participant is the owner and the controller of their crypto vault, as we call it, or it's a digital vault encrypted using each participant's key. So not even us at Genobank can read or access your information without the permission of each of the individuals. So the idea behind this is to increase the liquidity or the availability of DNA data for researchers, but at the same time with two basic and very important missions. The first one is, again, make the donor or enable the donors to establish ownership and control over their data, and on the other hand, protect researchers against data privacy claims. So if you, as a researcher, in the near future use Genobank, let's say to, like for instance, we are working with a biobank, a Mexican biobank. They will have samples from indigenous people. So they will provide transparency of how they are using their data. And on the other hand, the indigenous people participating will always be in control. So they can always break out from their relationship. The data will remain with them, and everything will be recorded in the blockchain to give transparency and auditability, to have a better governance of these data. Oh, thank you very much, Anders. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I will leave you in the comments maybe 3 items that I believe you'll find interesting, or hopefully you find interesting. One is our peer-reviewed article. We just received this year a prize from the British Blockchain Association that explains a little bit more how to combine the privacy laws, the genomic data, and the blockchain with the non-fungible tokens, right? So so that's number one. Number two, I will leave you a video, and number 3, our webpage, in case you find interesting. So thank you very much. I took a little bit more. Sorry, Isis, but Maria, thank you very much, and Telma, nice to see you here, and hopefully we can contribute a lot. We call it DNA open data, but permission data for research, right? Thank you very much. Sorry, Isis. Back to you.
Thank you, Daniel. There's no need to be sorry. Thank you for participating and bringing that. And I think that's very aligned with the governance idea that we want to discuss in the Latin Bio Summit. I think that the security of the biological information in Latin America and the biotech information in general, the security about what we develop here is very important too, to discuss. And I'm actually dividing I'm like with both hats at the same time, because I'm also emceeing the session, and I want to give space to everybody, because this is a collective construction. I don't want to be only me talking all the time. I would like to invite all of you to talk, but we have to choose some specific themes. I would like to invite now Eduardo. Eduardo works with me as my partner at Portunos, and he has been very active with the younger actors of Latin America, and in several different groups. He has been talking in Biotech Latina. He has been talking in Brazil in several different communities here, and he will bring a summary of the ideas that we have been discussing in those communities. Eduardo, please. If you,
because it's going to be feedback, because your laptop is going to be.
Okay, so I'll open to you. Try it.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Okay, good. Everyone can hear me. All right. Right. So
You're echoing a lot. Can you double check what's going on? Okay, go ahead and give it another try, Eduardo.
Okay, still echoing?
No, it was somebody else. I just muted everybody again. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Hey, thank you very much for that intro, Isis. Yes, I'm co-founder of Portunos in Brazil, the US, and Colombia as well. I actually started the tracked ideas, the one on corporate governance, with a special emphasis on that. Something I thought would be particularly interesting and poignant for Latin America in general. I admit, granted, I am an immigrant to the region, and so I am not a political expert on. And so I'm not a political expert on the region. However, I do think it would be incredibly valuable to discuss the development of corporate culture in Latin America. Isis has a point that yes, indeed, the region sort of lost the wave in certain industries. The idea here being that maybe because we are supposed to be the younger generation of Latin America and scientists and we have people in a position to do something, could we not attempt to create a charter or some sense of structure or rules regarding the creation of private companies and what biotech in industry looks like for Latin America, so that we would be able to not only try to outcompete foreign interests that might not have certain countries' best interests in mind, but also not be as dependent on supply chains that go all across the world and have all kinds of abuses involved in them. You know, if we are able to use biotechnology to manufacture things for ourselves in local areas, to be able to pay more fairly, to engage in a more organized, less predatory form of capitalism by being innovative, by being better at business, I think it is something worth talking about. And so I wrote up a little bit of a sort of a planning document on it. Just
You want to share?
Yes, in the chat. It's right there. I should probably make like a there's already WhatsApp groups for this sort of thing. Also, that there is the sign up doc, the Google Sheets thing for the Latin Bio Summit 1.0 as well. But yeah, so this is just one track that I thought would be particularly valuable to talk about. Certainly open to comments and critiques, whatever you'd like to discuss about that. There's also, I believe, 7 others. Bioculture, bioart, the environmental protection was another. I can just go ahead and resend all of those on the list, or perhaps put them in a Google Doc. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Eduardo. And well, there is this teams, these general teams. If we are talking about culture, for example, in the bioculture, we have some questions to like that we discussed with everyone before here. For instance, what cultural changes need to take place to optimize Latin America as an environment for biotechnological innovation? What ideas can we use, like how can we use art as a medium for creating cultural change? Filmmaking, comic writing, how can we demonstrate cool biotech as a medium for other art? To me, that's very important that art and biotech are connected in order to create this narrative to the world, because we are always the object of the narrative, but never the teller, never the author. And I just gave this example, but in another discussion, but it's an example that really pisses me off, because why is CERN so famous and we have a particle accelerator in Brazil that's huge and has the same kind of research, and nobody in the world, when I talk to my peers in other parts of the world that are not in Latin America, nobody ever heard about it, because we don't know how to advertise that. We don't know how to do marketing about our own technologies and everything that we have that is good. And we need to be better in marketing. Like NASA only has this mythology all over it because in the 50s, NASA worked very closely with Disney, and they did together all the cultural marketing that is possible that you can imagine. Nowadays, CERN has every year, artists doing artistic residencies there, so they can have several different ways of showing that, and that is in pop culture and appearing in series and etc. And well, we need to do that in Beijing too. We need to be in pop culture as Latin Americans. So with that said, I will open to everybody that is part of that is new to the discussion right now, and the ones that we already there. Anyone who wants to talk and contribute, please feel free to jump in.
You're so quiet. We're having this all over the place this afternoon. You're tired out by Bio Summit and now nobody's talking.
I'm
Oh,
sure I'll
literally.
have some questions. I was going to say, I'm sure I'll have some questions. I'm taking notes and then I'll come back with some. Thanks, though.
Are you guys excited about the idea of a Latin Bio Summit? You'll have to get your languages going, you know, Spanish, Portuguese,
Definitely.
etc. But I mean,
Yeah,
this is exciting. Africa's done this so successfully. You know, Africa Osh. This year was supposed to be Africa Osh / Africa Bio Summit, but it got canceled because of COVID. But yeah, this is great. This is what you need. You guys need to own this. Make it yours. Let us know how we can help. A lot of you helped run this Bio Summit. You know, Thelma's OG organizer now. So is Isis. You guys have about 10 minutes left. I would say that one suggestion I have, and we did this in the regionals, which is some concrete things. If you just think it's a good idea, that's one thing. But who's going to make a commitment to help out with Bio Summit? Who's going to make a commitment to attend Bio Summit? Who's going to make a commitment here today to promote Bio Summit and get their people here? So that's our thing. We got to start making some commitments here. And I don't mean just like raising your hands. I mean, get in the note stock and start writing down what are some commitments people can make, and who's going to start doing that today. I think we just got Isis back. Did we?
I think she's here again. Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and Andy, you wanted to say something? Let me make it so that anybody can unmute. You should be able to unmute, Andy.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to say I love the Bio Summit, Latin America Summit idea. I think that it's very important, the things that Isis and Eduardo were talking about the corporate part, because it's underdeveloped in our countries. But I think all the network that we are building is mainly from universities and from corporations. We are from those, we have very few artists, very few educators, very few biohackers, very few communicator community. So we need to start a relationship with those communities in Latin America, because most of us are from universities, and we have to make that, I think, the first thing, because I think if we make it corporate, we will lose the spirit of the Bio Summit. If we only talk about corporate things, and if we do not include the biohacking and informal education and the biolabs and do-it-yourself bio, I think we are lacking of those peoples in Latin America.
Can I make a recommendation to you guys?
Yeah.
What would you guys think about having, and this would have been good to do this weekend, but you know, maybe you guys get together and you rewrite the statement of shared purpose for Latin America and figure out what's missing for Latin America that's your purpose for your summit.
Totally.
That's a perfect idea. Yes.
You know, you guys need some team building. You need to figure out what are your values for the summit. What do you want to promote? You know, your tracks don't have to adhere to regular Bio Summit. We want to help you guys with that. But, you know, what'll help you guys own this? What'll help you guys figure out what are the Latin American values? You know, what are the things that you guys need out of this event? Who, you know, who's invited? Who's coming? And starting, you know, maybe doing a version of that statement of shared purpose, which, you know, Isis facilitated. We did that for the teams. Thelma participated in, etc. Yeah, Sophia. Sorry, I'm drunk with power. I keep muting and unmuting everybody. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know. I can speak Spanish. I don't prepare. It's just,
Yeah, no.
yeah. Ok. Bueno, justamente, bueno, les mencionaba hace un momento que sobre la iniciativa de Biotech Latina. Y bueno, como acaba de mencionar María, nació también en parte por el Bio Summit. O sea, el Bio Summit influyó mucho en esto porque nos ayudó a integrar a muchos participantes dentro de esta área de la biotecnología y nos hizo notar grandes falencias que tenemos como región, ¿no? Entonces, como tal, esta integración que de una forma u otra ya está intentando romperse por medio del Latin Bio, del primer Bio Summit latino, también ya lo estamos integrando con Biotech Latina. Estamos integrando lo que son organizaciones, instituciones, independientes. Queremos que como tal todo lo que es relacionado a la biotecnología se convierte en una plataforma para que pueda transferirse y formarse una biotecnología integral, una biotecnología independiente propia. Y bueno, claramente con esto queremos promover el desarrollo de la bioeconomía en la región. Entonces, justamente hoy en la mañana hablábamos de formar un nuevo grupo con los integrantes del Bio Summit este año, pero me parecería más ideal que nos unamos en un solo grupo, que es el objetivo de esto, generar una red de comunicación integral, en donde podamos saber qué es lo que tenemos en Latinoamérica, qué podemos ofrecer al mundo y bueno, básicamente abordar todas las áreas que es gobernanza, aprendizaje, divulgación, inclusión y diversidad, la bioeconomía como tal, el arte, las intersecciones y demás. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. I think that's really the idea of the Latin Bio Summit, is to be a facilitator of reuniting all these initiatives. And I think that what is our goal is really to make all those actors to interact. You know, the government, as Thelma said the other day, like, why does, just a minute before, why does, first of all, why does Mercosur doesn't work? Because we have so many different governments changing all the time that independent of the agreements that we do, the government decides to act like whatever they want, whatever the worst president is the turn right now, right? So, but I think that through the Latin Bio Summit, we can unite the young generation, the senior researchers, the midterm researchers, you know, all the generations that are in the academic side, and also all the developers, the entrepreneurs, also from different perspectives, with more or less experience, with a bigger or lesser network, and also the network in different realms and in different segments and in different layers of society. So I think all those initiatives are important to exist by themselves, but the Latin American Bio Summit is a place where we can unite all of those partners, all of those actors at once. And I think that from the first thing that I think we should have from the first Latin Bio Summit, of course, is our shared purpose for Latin America, but also a think tank where we will have all those actors from all those layers. And this think tank will help us to decide, you know, political policies for the region, political agreements, agreements that can help us to interact inside the law with exchanging reagents or equipments or whatever is or difficult. But we need to have like the power of the, you know, the people that are the seniors in their areas, and we need the energy of the people that are entering right now, all working together at once. And for that, we need a point where all those energies can merge. We need a point of encounter. And I truly believe that the Latin Bio Summit can be this point of encounter of all those people. Mariah, I see that you are like nodding.
I was just going to let you guys know you've got about 2 minutes left. You're flexible. This is the last talk of the day in the track. You have extra time if you want. But I'm going to challenge you again to, as I told them, what are your action items out of this for people? Is it getting on the notes? Is it getting on the WhatsApp? What are your time frames for getting some people to commit to things? Because it's really good to talk about these, but we want them to become actions. So how do we move things from, yeah, that's interesting, to we're going to build something and create a Latin American movement? Because you guys need this. A lot of you guys have troubles with your governments understanding the role of science, understanding regulations, and maybe you build something stronger by creating this, Latin American network that can then have more power than a single scientist in a single country.
I think that we have a good advantage regarding the event. First of all, we decided to move the event to 2021 because we wanted to be presential, and we want all people to be able to be connected to each other, and see face to face. Because the Global Bio Summit, one of the reasons that is working so well, the first reason is the real hard work of everybody to put it here. But the second reason is because it's already the fourth, and people already know each other, and the community is already built. So it's easier to bring everybody in an online event when you already have the community. But we need still to foster the community, so that it's mandatory that it's presential, I think. But we have the advantage that we have these institutions like the Biopark that will do, and Fundação Araucária and others, that will do a lot of the work that the volunteers are doing this year for the Global Bio Summit. We have a lot of logistics help, and this will be very important. So when I said we need commitment, of course, but we already have a structure to help us to start with. So we will need to fill a lot of roles, but those roles have help and structure to count on. And we count on, of course, on David and Maria and all the other organizers and the real developers from the regional Bio Summit to transfer all their experience and in organizing to us, I'm sure. And so I think that we really have something going on here. We just need to, right now, a platform to organize all these decentralized talks that are happening since last year. Because as Maria said, when we have this centralized, we can have the commitments more clear, who is doing what, when, and in timelines, etc. So I would like to ask if anyone has a suggestion on which is the better way for us to communicate from now on.
Yeah, give people some options. You can use reaction emojis to vote how you guys want to, what people think of different things. So what are some options for people to communicate, Isis? WhatsApp, right?
Yes, I think WhatsApp is good. I think that some people doesn't like WhatsApp because privacy issues, maybe Telegram, Slack. A lot of votes for Slack in the chat. Maybe we should stick with Slack. And there was a channel that was created during the Bio Summit this year just for the Latin participants. So I think that it was created by the fellows, by the Latin Bio Fellows of this year. And maybe we should all connect it in this. Does everybody agree to connect in that channel? Yeah, that one. Thank you, Zoe. It's on the chat, BS4 Regional Latin America. Does that sound like a good idea? Thumbs up?
If that works,
Awesome.
go and join. And then maybe we can have our own Slack for Latin Bio Summit. But first, go and gather. And if you're interested in this, even if you're not from Latin America right now, you can join and we can figure out how can we all.
I think that what's probably going to happen is let's join all the community in this channel, and then everybody that really wants to be helping as organizer, then we can have a separate group to not be flooding everybody with daily developments, etc.
Can we set our next meeting, like maybe Saturday morning next week, to start talking about this?
I love that. I love the setting. A schedule is great. I like it. Does that sound a good day to all of you?
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Next Saturday morning. 9 EST, or is it too early for a Saturday?
It can be at 10 EST. I think it's okay. So next Saturday, 10 EST, we are going to write this at the channel, at all the groups of WhatsApp that we have, just to settle like next Saturday, which is going to be our official communication channel.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Exactly.
And well, we are closing the getting to the closing of this discussion particularly. I would like to open the mic just once more for one or more than one of the bio fellows of this year that are from Latin America. Anything that you would like to contribute or share with us about this discussion in particular, please. The mic is yours.
Just one fast highlight I have from the fellows program is how important is storytelling, because sometimes we forget that it's not as important as what we say, the way we say it. That's the most important part. So maybe if we don't really know much about storytelling, I highly recommend you to read books, to look YouTube tutorials, to do whatever you do to learn, to learn how to tell stories, because that's how we can get a lot of funding, get a lot of people, create a real community, like engaging. So storytelling is important, and well, we can all help each other.
Thank you, Thelma. Maria, how are you in time? We are over time already, right?
Yeah, you guys are a little bit over time, but it's your track. So you guys can go a little bit over time. We do want to wrap up just global collaborations for folks who've been with us all day. But I'm excited. Count me in to help out a little bit. So I'm going to tell you all the little secret, and I know Thelma and Isis know this. If you want me at a meeting, send me a Google Calendar invite, and if it's on my Google Calendar, I show up. That's it. That's the secret. So if you guys want me to help out with, I'm not going to commit to do too much, but I do want to help with the Latin American Bio Summit. Let me know when you guys are doing things. If I don't already have meetings scheduled, that's the only hard part of my schedule, is I have a lot of meetings. Yeah, I want to see this happen. I want to see you guys come together as a region. It means a lot to me. Hey, David, you there?
Thank you.
I am. I'm just popping in for I think it's the very end of the meeting, but I hope it was a productive one. Did you guys make a lot of progress?
Yes.
We did.
Yay, I'm so excited. After the Bio Summit is over, I'm personally really excited to work with you all to make this regional Bio Summit a big success. So I'm really excited to work with you guys and making it as awesome as it possibly can be. So I look forward to hearing about how the meeting went, and yeah, really excited to work with you all on this.
They're going full steam ahead. They've got one of their first activities is to maybe rethink our shared statement of purpose, and how does it sound in Spanish, and what does it mean for Latin America?
That's awesome. That's great. That sounds fantastic. Cool. Well, I look forward to hearing all about it, everybody. Congratulations on a great meeting, and really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, look how many people are in here. People are excited. It's good.
Yeah, I would expect no less. Wonderful.
All righty.
You're all going to have to teach me some Spanish too. And Portuguese. All of them, both.
Up to the Portuguese.
All right. Yeah, do you have anything else you want to say in closing about the Latin American Bio Summit, Isis?
Yes, I just noticed that someone else joined us. It was Alberto. Alberto, are you there? If Alberto is there, Alberto is from Genomic Day, in Genomic Lab here in Brazil, and they are conducting a sequencing initiative for the Pantanal. And I remember that I mentioned to you about the fires, and I would like since we don't have much time, I would like him to introduce himself and talk himself about it. Could you please, the mic is yours, Alberto. Oh, he says his microphone is not working. Oh, it's a shame, I'm sorry. But, well, mainly what most of you have been probably read about it or see some news. that in Brazil there have been some terrible fires in the Pantanal region with the biggest wetland that we have in the whole world, the biggest wetland biome, and we are already lost 21% of the region, which is equivalent of 21 cities of São Paulo. Anyone here that was already in São Paulo know that's a lot, and we are losing a lot of, biological resources and the lives itself, losing a lot of life. And there is much of that that is not even mapped yet. So this initiative is about sequencing all these species and having a mapping of all this richness in biology that we have there. So that's why I invited him for to join us, because I think this kind of initiative is the kind of initiative that should be a part of the Latin Biosummit too. So it was more like a panel, a nano panel here that I wanted to bring. But with that, I think that we can close this discussion for today, and we keep talking in Slack, and I see you all next Saturday, 10 EST. Thank you all for attending today.
Thank you, Isis.
Oh wait, take a photo, Isis.
Oh yeah, picture.
Oh yes, yes.
You should take a group photo with everybody.
Yeah, how do I do that?
You should document this historic moment. Here, I can help. So everybody, if you can turn your videos on, if you would like to be in the photo, then I personally like using some objects just to make it a little more exciting. These actually are some gifts from Cecilia, also from Latin America, from last year's BioSummit. And on the count of 3, we can all say family. Or actually, how would we say it in Spanish? Or in, how would you all like to say?
Familia.
Familia, perfect. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, familia.
Familia.